Excerpts from Childe Harold's Pilgrimage by Lord Byron. Canto 1. The sails were filled, and fair the light winds blew, as glad to waft him from his native home, and fast the white rocks faded from his view, and soon were lost in circumambient foam. And then it may be of his wish to roam repented he, but in his bosom slept the silent thought, nor from his lips did come one word of wail, while others sat and wept, and to the reckless gales unmanly moaning kept. But when the sun was sinking in the sea, he seized his harp, which he at times could string, and strike, albeit with untaught melody, when deemed he no strange ear was listening. But now his fingers o'er it did he fling, and tuned his farewell in the dim twilight, while flew the vessel on her snowy wing, and fleeting shores receded from his sight. Thus to the elements he poured his last good night. Adieu, adieu, my native shore fades o'er the waters blue. The night winds sigh, the breakers roar, and shrieks the wild sea mew. Yon sun that sets upon the sea, we follow in his flight. Farewell awhile to him and thee, my native land, good night. A few short hours, and he will rise to give the morrow birth, and I shall hail the main and skies, but not my mother earth. Deserted is my own good hall, its hearth is desolate. Wild weeds are gathering on the wall, my dog howls at the gate. Come hither, hither, my little page, why dost thou weep and wail? Or dost thou dread the billows' rage, or tremble at the gale? But dash the teardrop from thine eye, our ship is swift and strong, our fleetest falcon scarce can fly more merrily along. Let winds be shrill, let waves roll high, I fear not wave nor wind, yet marvel not, Sir Childe, that I am sorrowful in mind. For I have from my father gone, a mother whom I love, and have no friends save these alone, but thee and one above. My father blessed me fervently, yet did not much complain, but sorely will my mother sigh till I come back again. Enough, enough, my little lad, such tears become thine eye. If I thy guileless bosom had, mine own would not be dry. Come hither, hither, my stanch yeoman, why dost thou look so pale? Or dost thou dread a French foeman, or shiver at the gale? Deem'st thou I tremble for my life? Sir Childe, I am not so weak, but thinking on an absent wife will blanch a faithful cheek. My spouse and boys dwell near thy hall, along the bordering lake, and when they on their father call, what answer shall she make? Enough, enough, my yeoman good, thy grief let none gainsay, but I, who am of lighter mood, will laugh to flee away. For who would trust the seeming sighs of wife or paramour? Fresh fares will dry the bright blue eyes we late saw streaming o'er. For pleasures past I do not grieve, nor perils gathering near. My greatest grief is that I leave no thing that claims a tear. And now I'm in the world alone, upon the wide, wide sea. But why should I for others groan, when none will sigh for me? Perchance my dog will whine in vain, till fed by stranger hands. How long ere I come back again, he'd tear me where he stands. With thee, my bark, I'll swiftly go athwart the foaming brine, nor care what land thou bear'st me to, so not again to mine. Welcome, welcome, ye dark blue waves, and when you fail my sight, welcome ye deserts and ye caves, my native land, good night. On the vessel flies, the land is gone, and winds are rude in Biscay's sleepless bay. 4 days are sped, but with the fifth anon, new shores descried make every bosom gay. And Cintra's mountain greets them on their way, and Tagus dashing onward to the deep, his fabled golden tribute bent to pay, and soon on board the Lusian pilots leap, and steer twixt fertile shores, where yet few rustics reap. O Christ, it is a goodly sight to see, what heaven hath done for this delicious land, what fruits of fragrance blush on every tree, what goodly prospects o'er the hills expand. But man would mar them with an impious hand, and when the Almighty lifts his fiercest scourge 'gainst those who most transgress his high command, with treble vengeance will his hot shafts urge, cause locust host, and earth from fellest foeman purge. What beauties does Lisboa first unfold, her image floating on that noble tide, which poets vainly pave with sands of gold, but now whereon 1,000 keels did ride? Of mighty strength since Albion was allied, and to the Lusians did her aid afford, a nation swoln with ignorance and pride, who lick yet loathe the hand that waves the sword, to save them from the wrath of Gaul's unsparing lord. O lovely Spain, renowned romantic land, where's that standard which Pelagio bore, when Cava's traitor sire first called the band that dyed the mountain streams with Gothic gore? Where are those bloody banners which of yore waved o'er thy sons victorious to the gale, and drove at last the spoilers to their shore? Red gleamed the cross, and waned the crescent pale, while Afric's echoes thrilled with Moorish matrons' wail. Teems not each ditty with the glorious tale? Ah, such, alas, the hero's amplest fate! When granite moulders and when records fail, a peasant's plaint prolongs his dubious date. Pride, bend thine eye from heaven to thine estate. See how the mighty shrink into a song. Can volume, pillar, pile preserve thee great? Or must thou trust tradition's simple tongue, when flattery sleeps with thee, and history does thee wrong? Awake, ye sons of Spain, awake, advance. Lo, chivalry your ancient goddess cries, but wields not as of old her thirsty lance, nor shakes her crimson plumage in the skies. Now on the smoke of blazing bolts she flies, and speaks in thunder through yon engines' roar. In every peal she calls, awake, arise. Say, is her voice more feeble than of yore, when her war song was heard on Andalusia's shore? All have their fooleries, not alike are thine, fair Cadiz rising o'er the dark blue sea. Soon as the matin bell proclaimeth nine, thy saint adorers count the rosary. Much is the virgin teased to shrive them free, well do I ween the only virgin there. From crimes as numerous as her beadsmen be, then to the crowded circus forth they fare. Young, old, high, low, at once the same diversion share. The lists are oped, the spacious area cleared. Thousands on thousands piled are seated round. Long ere the first loud trumpet's note is heard, nae vacant space for laded wight is found. Here dons grandees, but chiefly dames abound, skilled in the ogle of Herodias' eye, yet ever well inclined to heal the wound. None through their cold disdain are doomed to die, as moonstruck bards complain by love's sad archery. Hushed is the din of tongues on gallant steeds, with milk-white crest, gold spur, and light-poised lance. For cavaliers prefer ferventious deeds, and lowly bending to the lists advance. Rich are their scarfs, their chargers feedly prance, if in the dangerous game they shine today. The crowd's loud shout and ladies' lovely glance, best prize of better acts, they bear away. And all that kings or chiefs e'er gain, their toils shall repay. In costly sheen and gaudy cloak arrayed, but all afoot the light-limbed matador stands in the centre, eager to invade the lord of lowing herds, but not before. The ground with cautious tread is traversed o'er, lest aught unseen should lurk to thwart his speed. His arms a dart, he fights aloof no more. Can man achieve without the friendly steed? Alas, too oft condemned for him to bear and bleed. Thrice sounds the clarion, lo, the signal falls, the den expands, and expectation mute gapes round the silent circle's peopled walls, bounds with one lashing spring the mighty brute, and wildly staring spurns with sounding foot the sand, nor blindly rushes on his foe. Here, there he points his threatening front to suit his first attack, wide waving to and fro. His angry tail red rolls, his eyes dilated glow. Sudden he stops, his eye is fixed away. Away, thou heedless boy, prepare the spear. Now is thy time to perish or display the skill that yet may check his mad career. With well-timed croup the nimble coursers veer. On foams the bull, but not unscathed he goes. Streams from his flank the crimson torrent clear. He flies, he wheels, distracted with his throes. Dart follows dart, lance lance, loud bellowings speak his woes. Again he comes, nor dart nor lance avail, nor the wild plunging of the tortured horse. Though man and man's avenging arms assail, vain are his weapons, vainer is his force. One gallant steed is stretched a mangled corpse, another hideous sight unseamed appears. His gory chest unveils life's panting source, though death struck still his feeble frame he rears. Staggering but stemming all, his lord unharmed he bears. Foiled, bleeding, breathless, furious to the last, full in the centre stands the bull at bay, mid wounds and clinging darts and lances brast, and foes disabled in the brutal fray. And now the matadors around him play, shake the red cloak and poise the ready brand. Once more through all he bursts his thundering way. Vain rage, the mantle quits the conynge hand, wraps his fierce eye, 'tis past, he sinks upon the sand.